Hi, I'm Nick Malik. I'm a co-author with Martin Sykes and Mark West of this book, Stories That Move Mountains, available at Amazon in 6 languages. It's a book about creating a presentation that's compelling, memorable, and fun. It's a book about storytelling. Naturally, there's a story behind it. It's a story of frustration, happenstance, and a Christmas party. Zip back to 2008. I'm a member of the enterprise architecture team in Microsoft, assigned to oversee the systems of 2 business segments, Microsoft OEM division and the Microsoft Partner Program. Not exciting work, but it's good work. I'm the main proponent of service-oriented architecture in Microsoft IT, and I tell my story everywhere I go. Let's build services! No one is listening. I mean, no one. I'm frustrated. I'm tired. I feel like this just isn't getting anywhere. At the time, I'm working closely with another architect, Gabriel Morgan. He also had 2 business segments, Microsoft Consulting Services and Microsoft Support. He was struggling to get his businesses to buy into business architecture and capability modeling. Same problem. No one was listening. Gabriel went looking for answers. Something had to change. A friend of his, Martin Sykes, had an answer for us. He was coming to Redmond from his home in the UK for a couple of weeks and wanted to pilot a training class he was preparing. The training class was on business storytelling. Business storytelling is different from sitting around a campfire. It's a focused activity. You have a point to make, and you focus your energy and efforts on knowing what that point is. A business storyteller tells a story of change. What needs to be changed? Why it needs to change? Why now? And how it can change. Business storytelling is a way of framing a real example with people, each with their own motivations and likes. What's more important, business storytelling forces you to simplify your message. Most of the information thrown out in a presentation is useless to the listener. Business storytellers learn to say less, say what must be said, and to push for the change you want to happen. The training class sounded perfect. Gabriel rounded up about half of the enterprise architecture team, and we each committed to spending 4 hours a day for 4 days in training sessions on business storytelling. Martin is a great storyteller. Each class was a series of stories. Time simply flew by. We graduated and went back to our day jobs as change agents inside Microsoft. Fast forward a few months, and I'm working with the Microsoft operations team on their overall enterprise architecture. I decided to use my new skills to produce a simple business story. This time, I used the techniques Martin taught me. Simple, clean, good metaphors. Know your audience. Tell what, tell why, tell how. All on one side of a large sheet of paper, 11 by 17 or A3. I presented my story to the director of Microsoft Strategic Operations. She liked it. She invited me to present it to her boss, the vice president of operations. He liked it. Then, silence. Nothing changed. About 3 weeks later, the administrative assistant for the VP of operations calls me. She wants a copy of that visual story. I ask why. The VP of operations wants to present my business story to Steve Ballmer, CEO of Microsoft. When you tell a business story, you have to pay attention to the audience, who you want to hear it. Who are they? How do they learn? How do they make decisions? What's in it for them? My story focused on the concerns of the VP of operations so well, he used it in his one-on-one with the CEO. Things happened pretty quickly after that. I was promoted, I got my own team. I had oversight for all segment architects and was the lead architect for Microsoft Operations. I ended up driving the selection of the e-commerce system under Windows 8. All from a single business story. Now that I had a team, I wanted them to learn business storytelling. Naturally, I called Martin Sykes. He was about to make another visit to Redmond, and I wanted him to teach his course again. We met over coffee in Redmond in the summer of 2010 and started planning. Martin wanted to create a highly collaborative online learning course to teach business storytelling. I just wanted course materials to teach my team, but he got me caught up in his vision. I mentioned that I had co-authored 2 books in the 90s, and the format of a book proposal is a good way to frame material for something like this. So I wrote up a book proposal for him, not because we wanted to write a book, but because it's a good way to outline content in context. He took it and revised it. We made it useful, and we used it as our outline. Then came Christmas of 2010. Martin's wife, Jules, works for a company that handles publishing rights in England. They held a Christmas party and invited business associates and partners to an evening of merriment. That party proved fateful. Jules introduced Martin to an editor at Wiley Publishing. Martin described his vision. The editor asked if Martin had anything he could share, and Martin forwarded the book proposal. Before we knew it, we were writing a book. One of the key lessons of business storytelling is this: the story stands on its own. No one has to present it. If I send my story to the vice president, he can present it to the CEO. If Martin sends our story to an editor, a book is born. This book is the result of a 1.5 years of effort. There are hundreds of tips like these in Stories That Move Mountains. This book is for anyone who wants to convince people of an idea. It takes a step-by-step process, walking you through a clear process that we call CAST. We give instructions, we give examples, we provide insight. So pick up a copy if you can. Tell your story. Move mountains.